Sometimes when I love something so much, I am so not excited to post it. When I am like so proud, when I am the most proud of a piece of content, that is when I want to post it the least. And it's not because I don't want to share in my excitement with people that are going to get it and resonate with it and connect with the piece of content. It's this fear of it failing in the eyes of the algorithm, and this fear that I'm going to take that personally, even though that goes against my values as a creative.
Dude, where are you? Pick up your phone. I'm going to a summer party tonight, and you're obviously invited, so call me back. Okay, love you. Bye.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the weekly slumber party for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drosbeck, who is so behind on my Spooktober movie watches. I thought I was going to have a spooky, scary month. We were going to really lean into the fall vibes, the Halloween of it all. I had my pumpkin decorations out first week of September. I'm trying, right? I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to, 'tis the season, my way through the fact that it's still in the 70s in October. Now it seems like we're finally starting to cool off in New York, but I'm not getting fall vibes. And I think that's part of the reason why it's been hard for me to get into it. But I, in September, made a list of 31 movies, spooky, scary, horror or horror adjacent movies that I wanted to watch during the month of October, thinking that I was going to watch like one movie a day, maybe missing a few days, having to do a double feature, perhaps a triple feature on the weekends. Listen, I've done it before. I'll do it again. I love spending a whole entire day just sat watching movie after movie. I figured that I'd be watching one movie a day and then maybe doing a little bit of catch up on the weekend for whatever, weekday movies I wasn't able to watch. It is October 10th, and I have not watched even one scary movie this month. What the fuck? Unless you count Joker 2 as a scary movie, which it kind of was, you guys. Which we'll get there. We cannot be starting this episode by talking about Joker 2 because I have so much to say. But in my head, this was going to be my engagement in the Halloween October festivities. I was just going to watch some movies, and that was going to be my contribution to the season. I did it 2 years ago. Well, sort of. I think I made it like halfway through the month 2 years ago, watching a scary movie every single day. Maybe not even. Half is maybe ambitious. Let's call it a third. I made it a third of the month watching a scary movie every single day. And in my head, that was going to be my contribution this year, but it's going to be hard to catch up at this point. I'm a week and a half behind. But my friends keep asking me what I'm going to dress up as for Halloween. And every single time I feel like an asshole because I'm like, nothing. Like, I get that it's the least fun answer. And it's like, oh, okay, great. You're too cool for Halloween. It's really not that. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe I do. Maybe I am an asshole. Maybe I am just being an ass. I am too cool for Halloween. Maybe. That's option one. I don't know if that's the truth, though. Option two, well, okay. Backstory. Lore time. Yeah. The last time I dressed up and went out for Halloween was 2018. I mean, I guess I did dress up as Snooki last year, but it wasn't. I dressed up as Snooki on like October 27th for 2 hours at trivia where nobody else dressed up. It was just me and my friends. So sort of I dressed up last year, but not really. Yeah. The last time I did Halloween was 2018, I want to say 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2018 though. And back then I wanted to dress up as something scary. I adopted the belief that if it's not scary, if you're not doing horror for Halloween, it's a bad costume. And honestly, I'll be so real. I kind of still do think that. I think you should just make everything dead. I think that's like the slay choice. Like if you want to be the coolest person, your costume has to be dead. Whatever you're dressing up as, just make it dead. I don't know that I love all of my costume choices of the past. I was sexy Pennywise in college in 2017. And sometimes I think about that one and I'm like 8 down. And then other times I think about that and I'm like, what? What do you mean? Sexy Pennywise. I think the dead costumes, scary costumes, are more interesting by default. And I was very interested in special effects makeup when I was in college. Anyways, I'm telling you this because it's important to the story for why my last Halloween was my last Halloween. So this was either 2018 or 2019. The Wombats, my favorite band, were playing at Terminal 5 in New York the Halloween weekend. And I dressed up for the concert as a dead cheerleader, and I did special effects makeup to make it look like my neck was split open. So excited, got my outfit on, spent hours on my makeup, made my way from Flatbush, where I lived at the time, all the way to Terminal 5, which is on 57th and 8th or something crazy like that. It's far from where I lived in Flatbush, okay? Traveled all the way there, me and my roommate at the time. So we make the trip from Flatbush to Terminal 5. We are crossing the street in the crosswalk to get to Terminal 5, and a car hits us. It's not funny. We get hit by a car when crossing the street. We had the walk sign. We were in the crosswalk. This car was coming from the opposite direction. They didn't run a red. They also had a green, but they were turning. So obviously, when you turn, you have to yield to the pedestrians that also have the walk sign. This person did not yield to us. They just straight up fucking hit us. So I'm talking up on the windshield, hit us. Up, pushed back. I was hit by the front of the car, and my roommate was hit by the side. So I got slammed back, and the back of my head hit the pavement. And obviously when something that happens to you, you're in shock for the first couple seconds, and then you react however you're going to react. As you can imagine, to the other people that were on the street during this incident, they were very concerned for me, because from an outsider's view, they look over after hearing the commotion. They see two people have been hit by a car, and they see one of them that appears to be profusely bleeding from the neck. It's not funny. It's just fucked up, because I am fully in gore makeup. Gore makeup. Hit by a car. People are looking over oh my God. The amount of people I had to reassure that night that I was fine and that it was makeup. Not that I was fine. My head slammed against the pavement. I needed to go to the hospital and make sure I wasn't concussed. But my neck wasn't slit open. I wasn't bleeding to death. That wasn't a problem that was on the table. It was just oh my God, the amount of comforting of other people I did after being hit by a car simply because I was in gore makeup. I imagine it was traumatic for everybody. Simply because that's what I was wearing. So I think it also probably helped that when faced with conflict and danger, I am the type of person who is I immediately go into protection mode for other people. And so I feel my concern right when I got hit by the car was, once I got my bearings and realized what happened, my objective was to get my roommate to the sidewalk. It was it's better for me to focus on how I can help and be purposeful to be of use. So I immediately stand up and start, trying to solve or mediate whatever situation this is. People had to tell me to sit down and chill because I was moving about like mad. But also they think I'm bleeding out. So there was a lot going on that day. And I was pissed because I had to miss the Wombats concert. And you know what's extra crazy is that the person that hit us, they obviously they stopped, and which thank God, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be here to tell this tale because my head would have been ran over. But the person that hit us, they pulled over to the side of the road and they were talking to us, and they were really upset at what they had done. And so they were crying and they were telling me, they were like, I feel so bad. Like, I was hit by a car last year and it was so bad. I feel so terrible that I just did this, yada, yada, whatever. And they tell me their whole story about how they were hit by a car a year ago. And I had a moment where I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Why am I comforting the person that just hit me with their car? Like, sometimes I am irritated by my instinct to be like, it's fine. Oh my God, don't worry about it, because I'm so concerned about other people. Not that I was like, oh my God, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's the person that hit me with their car. But I was like, already doing problem solving, and I was like, to the exterior eye, fine. I wasn't crying, I wasn't like, I wasn't mad, I wasn't anything. I was just like trying to make sure that everybody was okay. It wasn't like I was thinking about anything else besides that. But then it's like I'm in a situation where the person that just hit me with their car is now confiding in me about when they were hit by a car, and I'm like comforting them, being like, that sounds like it was terrible. Maybe I should be a bitch more often, because what? Like, you hit me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Why are we doing this right now? Sometimes I'm like, I need to maybe be more drama in those moments. Not that I'm not drama every other day of the year, right? I'm well acquainted with what it means to be drama, okay? I live in love. But when it actually counts, I don't feel that I lean into it. When I actually could utilize my experience as a drama queen, as a lover of the arts, I don't utilize it. And I'm so concerned about not making other people feel bad. I'm like, I don't want her to feel bad and like eat themselves up inside because she hit us with her car. Because I'm like, I would feel so bad if I hit someone with my car. But the thing is that you didn't. And if you did, you probably should feel bad. But it's like, I feel like that is what stops me sometimes from delivering people the consequences of their actions, because I'm like, oh, that would suck. That would suck if I hit someone with my car and then they yelled at me for it. But it's like, yeah, it would suck. And also that's deserved. And it's not happening to you because you didn't do that. So let's not get blinded here. Anyways, off on a tangent. But that day, that Halloween was the last Halloween that I ever did. I think afterwards it was just like such a chore to me. The idea of like doing special effects makeup and like getting all dressed up in this costume just to be hit by a fucking car, not even get to see my favorite band, and then do emotional labor for the person that hit me is just like, it was too much. It actually still exhausts me to this day to think about. I'm still recouping from it. So I don't know. I've just never done Halloween ever again. And then I adopted Mango and I started dressing her up for Halloween. She hates it. That is for me. Completely 100%. I put her in a costume for 30 seconds. I take a photo and she's done. And I'm like, money well spent, I guess. I don't fucking know. But I'm like, will I ever do Halloween again? Because not to flex, I know Sexy Pennywise is a hard sell, but I was really fucking good at Halloween. Like, guys, hear me out. Sexy Pennywise 8. Like, I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't think that it's a good costume, but it was, all right? Also, New York sucks for Halloween because, like, what is the deal with trick-or-treating? I've lived here for 9 years and I've never had a single trick-or-treater. So clearly it's not like people are going apartment to apartment in random buildings. I'm assuming the trick-or-treating happens at like specific neighborhoods where there's houses or in like bigger apartment buildings. But in all the places I've ever lived, there's never been any trick-or-treaters. And I'm like, isn't that the fun of Halloween? I actually would love to think about just being domestic with someone and like sitting at home for Halloween watching scary movies and handing out candy. What the fuck? Why can't I do that? Nobody wants to come trick-or-treating anymore. I wouldn't deny anybody. If somebody came trick-or-treating and they were 50 years old, I'd be like, take this. Take it. And I feel like I always get candy because I'm nervous that some year there's going to be some kid in my building that wants to go walk around and knock on every door and ask for candy. But like, I would be mortified if someone came to my door and was like, trick or treat. I had fucking nothing. They'd be getting a bottle of olive oil, a pack of cat treats. I'd give them a book or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'd give them. I would panic. So I always have to have a little sweet treat, a little something to give people, just in case my worst nightmare occurs. Should I like make what was it called when you would make like a candy, like a Halloween basket and then knock on someone's door and run away. It was like a ding dong ditch moment, but you would leave like a basket full of shit at their front door. I think it was called being booed. That sounds wrong. Being booed. I don't know why I thought saying twice was going to change the way it hit, but I think it was something like that. Being booed, being ghosted, and then you have to put a sign up on your door that says that you've already been booed. And once someone boos you, you have to boo another person. But then you put the sign up on your door to make sure you don't get booed a second time. So that way everyone in the neighborhood can get booed. Maybe I should do that in my building. I'll start it. I'll start booing people. But then it's like if somebody just stops doing it, if nobody continues the chain, then it's like, who the fuck is this person giving me shit I don't want? Where's the fun of Halloween, guys? Can't dress up because you'll get hit by a fucking car. Can't hand out candy because there's no trick-or-treaters. Can't even make a boo basket. A boo someone. Ghost someone. Trick someone. Can't do that shit either because, well, I guess I could do that. I'm just nervous. I just feel like Halloween is dying in a way that I wish it wasn't. I would have loved if Halloween just evolved, you know? Like you're super into it when you're younger. In college it's fun. You dress up, you go out. And then post-college it just like dies. And some people keep doing it. And you'll have people every year that are like, what are you dressing up as? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Nothing. And they're like, boo! I'm like, I get it. It is fucking lame. But I think I would just rather sit at home and dress my cat up and watch a movie. And it would be sick to hand out candy to trick-or-treaters if fucking only. I don't know. Domestic life, handing out candy to trick-or-treaters, that does appeal to me. I am the correct audience for that, but alas, no trick-or-treaters for me. So I went and saw Joker. And I have things to say. But let me start by reminding you what I said 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, before seeing the movie, I came on this podcast and said that no matter what, if it was the shittiest movie on the face of the planet, it was still going to be a minimum 4 stars because Lady Gaga is in it. And anything that Lady Gaga touches turns to gold in my eyes. And she just can do no wrong. Lady Gaga's in it. It's good by default. And it's something that I still stand by. However, something I didn't take into account was that I am a data girl. A data girl, okay? Proud, loud and proud. Math lover when it comes to data and nothing else. But I didn't realize how much was going to piss me off that giving Joker a 4, because initially when I got out of the movie, I gave it a 4 because that was the promise that I made. And it is something that I believe. But seeing that my like joke score was fucking up the data of my like year rankings, because then if it was 4, if I was going to give it a 4, it was going to be like in the top 15 movies I watched this year, which is absolutely not true. And it was like fucking up the data, but I couldn't put it lower because I gave it a 4 and I was like, oh my God, it's just all fucked up now. And then I was like, I can't judge this movie based on a different criteria that I normally judge movies because it just, the whole thing is fucked up then. I understand that some people can be more relaxed about Letterboxd than I am, but I cannot. I cannot do that. It is very serious to me. These are very serious ratings. And it is a 4 in my heart because Lady Gaga's in it. And listen, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga were great. I actually do not have criticisms of their performances. I thought they were both wonderful. They're both very talented people. That's really not the problem with Joker. If I'm being honest, which I am, I changed my rating from a 4, which was my joke rating, my Gaga stan rating, which is the truth. And I'm also joking. And it's the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? 4, okay? I changed it to 2.5 stars out of 5 because that is the truth. The truth is that it really should be like a 1.5 to 2.5 stars. Anywhere in that range. I'm on the higher end, number one, because of Lady Gaga, and number two, because I had a wonderful theater experience. I had a wonderful time watching this movie. It is the funniest fucking shit I have seen in a long time. We were giggling and cackling throughout that whole goddamn movie. So, it's not good at all. Let me put it that way. The script is ass. It is so bad. Todd Phillips, you deserve jail time. For many things, the script being one of them, the direction being number two. Number three, the underutilization of Lady Gaga, perhaps the biggest crime of them all, which I knew that this was a critique that was coming because I read early reviews of Joker where people were like, how are you going to have one of the biggest pop stars in the world in your movie and then underutilize the shit out of her voice and also of her acting chops as well? And there are a lot of scenes that were cut from the movie. One of the big ones that they used the hell out of in the trailer that is not even in the movie is that scene when Harley and Joker are dancing on the steps and they're like walking down together with like the crowd on the sides. That is never in the movie. It's never shown. That never happens. It was in like all the trailers. That scene got cut. Apparently the ending is completely different and the like type of ending they originally had with Gaga's character got cut. There were some other scenes that got cut of Gaga's as well. And like, I just felt like the way they wrote Gaga's character was so bad. It was so underdeveloped, so underutilized. It honestly was just like a very poorly written character. And I thought that Gaga and Joaquin did a good job with what they were given. It's just that they were given shit. It's just that it was a terrible script that we were working with here. But like, it's pretty to look at and you've got two very talented actors. So it's like, Todd Phillips, what happened? That being said, I do think that some people are overselling how bad it was. It was bad, like the script is bad, but obviously I'm giving it a 2.5 because it's, you know, it's bad, but it's like in the middle range of bad. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even close to the worst movie I've seen this year. Again, I just saw Megalopolis. Megalopolis is way worse than Joker. Megalopolis is also out right now, which, let's talk about Megalopolis for a second and then I'll get back to Joker. But the biggest crime that Megalopolis commits is being the most boring fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, and that's such an insult. That is maybe the meanest thing that you could say about a movie is that it was fucking boring. Megalopolis has a stacked cast. Francis Ford Coppola is directing it. This is like a huge production. And it bored me to death. To fucking death. I left that movie being like, what the fuck? But I had nothing to say about it. I was like, it made me feel nothing. It made me think nothing. I hoped going into Megalopolis that I was going to be able to laugh because that's what I got from it. Like when I was reading early reviews of Megalopolis, people were like, that was the craziest, weirdest fucking what the fuck type shit I've ever seen. Like, what happened here, Francis? What the fuck is he doing? Like, I thought it was supposed to be his like weird freak little passion project that people were saying was like a fever dream off the walls. And in some ways it was all of those things. It was just also fucking boring. So I feel like while watching Megalopolis, I was hoping that I was going to be able to laugh more. I think there's only one scene in Megalopolis that I genuinely laughed at. The rest maybe got like a giggle out of me here or there. There is one scene in Megalopolis that actually made me laugh. The rest of the movie, I was sitting there like, okay, this is, yes, it is the weird fever dream that I was pitched, but it's also just fucking a bunch of nonsense that makes me feel nothing, makes me think nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing. To have no reaction to a movie, that is the biggest insult. So that's how I felt about Megalopolis. I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? All of it is bad. All of it. 100% of it is bad. And I'm bored. The only movie that I've seen this year worse than Megalopolis was The Crow, which I don't even want to talk about The Crow because it's truly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Ever. Worst movies I've ever seen. But obviously Joker it's a sequel. It's coming off of the first movie that was also very polarizing. People get very passionate about it. It makes sense why Joker 2 is getting more conversation, but also it's like there's a shittier movie out right now, you guys. So there are some people that I think are really overselling how bad it was. Like, it was bad. It was not a good movie. Some people are really going to town with how bad it was, and it was like, okay, guys, there are shittier movies. It wasn't the best. It was also not the worst. It was bad. It was fucking bad. 2.5 is really the most reasonable review for that movie, in my opinion. The second thing that I'm not in agreement with, which I feel like maybe more people hold the opinion than I do here, but people that go into a musical and then are mad that it's a musical, you guys annoy me. Like, you knew that there was going to be music in Joker. You bought a ticket, you went, and then you're rolling your eyes during every single musical number. Why? Why are we doing that? Also, I completely understand what Gaga meant when they were talking about, in some interviews, I'm going to get this quote wrong, but they were talking about the like role that music plays in the Joker movie, and Gaga was saying something about how it's not really a musical. Music is used as like a way to progress the story along and as a way to connect the characters, but it's really not a musical. And I agree. I thought that was actually a perfect way to describe what it is. And to be honest with you, I liked the music in Joker 2. I liked those parts of the movie more. That made the movie better to me. And yes, part of that is because I love Lady Gaga. I love her voice. I love her talent. Any opportunity to hear Lady Gaga sing, even if like she's not really fucking singing full force, a lot of the singing in Joker is not really like belting or really emotionally singing at all. A lot of it is like under your breath, like barely singing type singing, because it's more about the storytelling. But it worked for me. The music worked. I thought it was good. I liked that part of it. And people that were mad that it was a musical, knowing that there was music in it, it's like, what? If you just don't like that type of movie, if you don't like musicals or like sort of musicals, I wouldn't even call it a musical, because like you couldn't put that on Broadway, you know? It's like not enough. It's not enough music to be like, that's a musical. I'm like, they just are sort of like, they talk to each other because they met through that little singing class. It's the drama of it all. Just let them be theater kids. Like I that part I wasn't mad about at all. And genuinely, I did think the music made what large piece of shit we were working with there a little bit better. To me, the music enhanced it, not made it worse. It was bad as it was. The music made it a little bit better. But it's just like a bad take, in my opinion. If you're going to hate a movie, hate it for like real reasons, not because it's a musical. It's like hating a horror movie because it scared you. Like, yeah, you went to go see a horror movie. That is what happens in a horror movie. You get scared. To hate a horror movie because it's scary is the same thing as hating a musical because people sang. Like, why did you go then? Like, that's what it was. It just seems like it's a bad critique, to be honest. If you want to say that you don't think it needed to be a musical, then that's fine. But to be pissed that people sang, I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. Bad critique. This movie sucks enough on its own. And I thought that interview clip was so funny where some interviewer asked Gaga and Joaquin what they thought of like the final edit. What did they think when they saw the movie? And there was just silence between the two of them. And Gaga just smiles and looks at Joaquin and she's like, tell him what you think, Joaquin, or whatever the fuck she said. And it's just obvious that they have their criticisms about the final cut of the movie as well, which I would imagine so. Because I didn't have an issue with either of their performances, and it looked like they did cut out quite a bit. So who knows? who knows what those scenes were that they cut out or how, differently it would have impacted the rest of the script, how much it would have informed their characters. I don't know. I don't think it probably would have done that much. I think the script was just bad. It's bad. It was so funny though. Like, I was giggling and fucking cackling. There is one scene in the movie. They're in like a courtroom and Joaquin Phoenix does this voice that is unbelievably funny to me. The movie ended. He's like questioning Mr. Puddles on the stand. And he like, the second he starts questioning him, he's like, Mr. Puddles, what are we gonna do here today? You understand? Mr. Puddles, can I ask you a question? I was like losing my mind laughing. The second the movie ended, I was like, Mr. Puddles. Now I can't stop fucking saying it. Every 30 seconds, I'm like, Mr. Puddles. And really, that is the joy of it all. I left Joker giggling and fucking cackling, ready to commit to the bit that this was a 5-star movie, which is what I was doing until I left the theater and gave it a 4, which then I changed to 2.5 because I couldn't commit to my own joke for longer than 3 days. But the fact that I left that movie in such a good mood, like, that was so bad. I had so much fun. That is what cinema is about, people. Megalopolis, I left that movie and I was like, no thoughts, head empty. No fucking thoughts. Girl, come on. Which is more fun? Hating a movie but being consumed with how great the bit is, or going to see a movie and being like, I have nothing to say. It is worse to have nothing to say after a movie than it is to be passionately against something or to be passionately in favor of making fun of something. That's the fun of it all, of the consuming process. So, was Joker a good movie? No. Do I still recommend people see it? Yes, because I think it was funny. I think it was actually genuinely a very goofy movie. And yeah, I think you'd still have a good time. I had a good time in the theaters despite the fact that it's not good. And I yes, that's partly because I'm a Lady Gaga fan, but also I think it's just fucking hilarious. So, 5 stars. Anyways. I've seen so many videos recently in my recommended and my subscription feed about AI and the future of YouTube, and also the current state of YouTube and what it's like to be a creator on this platform. I know that very recently YouTube had its annual summit, meeting of the minds situation where they invite a bunch of the top creators on the platform to the YouTube space in New York, and they run through sort of what the platform is working on for the next year. Creators mingle, mesh together. I don't know. They just talk about YouTube and the future of YouTube and all of that. So I know that happened recently. And so I think a lot of the content that I'm seeing in my feeds now is from creators that were in attendance, sort of reacting to the things that they heard that week. And it is interesting to me how not unified creators are in their perspective on like AI and like the future of the platform and the direction the platform is going. It is interesting to me that there's not like a unified perspective, because in my eyes, you would think there's really only one way to look at all of that as a creator, but I guess I'm wrong. And I guess that makes sense that I'm wrong, because obviously you have creators who create for totally different reasons than the reasons that I create. Obviously, someone like me and someone like fucking Mr. Beast have damn near nothing in common, despite having the same job title. But I think from watching Drew Gooden's video on AI a few months ago, which was really fantastic, to watching some of the content that's come out this week from a variety of creators. I watched the Tommy Innit video a few days ago. I watched the video that Colin and Samir put out about it. And obviously there's been a ton of other AI discussion happening on the platform for months now outside of the stuff that has popped up in the last week. But the first video that had me thinking was the video that Tommy Innit posted earlier this week, or last week, I want to say, called YouTube's Changed. And a lot of what he was talking about in his video is the emphasis that YouTube puts on views and the push for views and popularity to be like the most valuable metric to creators, and like what a detriment pushing that is to creative people, which I completely agree with. Obviously, making videos, views are always going to be at least moderately important, right? You want people to watch the things that you're creating. That's fair. But I think it's a slippery slope because it is also something where what you have is never enough. You get 10K, then you want 50K. You get 50K, you want 100K. You get 100K, you want, so on and so forth. And then when you are in a groove and maybe all of your videos are getting, let's say something crazy, all of your videos are getting 2 million views a pop, and then you have one video only get 600,000 views, then you're pissed and you're like, I'm tanking, I'm failing. My videos usually get 2 million. Now they're only getting 600,000. And that 600,000 can feel terrible. It can feel small, even though it's like, bro, that's fucking 600,000. And I think that happens across the board at lots of different viewpoint stages, or I don't know, like levels of known on the internet. Like, yes, you want people to watch your videos, but what number is enough? And at what point are we just sort of killing ourselves in pursuit of popularity? Which is honestly a little ironic because I think that a lot of people on YouTube, or maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel like YouTube for a lot of people is like sort of home with the misfits. It's people that were not cool enough in their real lives, so they went to the internet and found their own communities. And maybe that's me speaking for myself, or me speaking for a more dated version of YouTube. That's how YouTube was when I joined. Maybe YouTube's not like that anymore, and I just need to sort of get with the times here a little bit. But there's some part of it that's funny to me, seeing YouTube become like so popularity driven, when I think that this community, this space, YouTube, was often a home for people that weren't popular. And now the people that weren't popular are competing to be popular among themselves. It's just like, really? That's what we're going to do? I don't know. And it is interesting how it's like nothing is ever enough. No number is enough to feel proud of, to feel accomplished by. There's always comparison there, whether you're comparing yourself to other videos of yours that performed better, or you're comparing yourself to other creators who are similar to you or not, creators that could be in completely different genres than you are, that you're still finding yourself comparing yourself to because they are upheld by the platform itself, by other creators, by brands, whoever it is. They're getting all this, praise and accolades and attention that you're not getting, and maybe you feel some kind of self-judgment for that as it is. The thing that people bring up a lot when talking about the emphasis that YouTube puts on views is like the Creator Studio. How when you open up Creator Studio, you are met with the 1 out of 10 thing, where it tells you how your most recent video is ranking in comparison to the previous 9 videos that you had posted. And everyone always wants to get that number 1 spot, so the confetti goes off, and it means that this video is doing better than every other video you've posted in the last 10 videos. I think some people like it because it's like a nice competition to try to beat your past self or whatever. Some people like to argue that it's helpful in some way. There's some learning there. To be honest with you, I don't find it helpful at all. I find that feature to only exist to make me feel shittier about myself. It doesn't inspire me. It doesn't teach me anything. I think it is a totally useless feature within the YouTube Studio that only serves to sort of knock my confidence a little bit when I open up YouTube. This is why I feel like it more recently in my life, I have had to stop looking at my YouTube studio. I've had to stop reading comments as much, stop, indulging in the analytics of it all, because I would rather focus on being creative, letting myself have fun and just like have a good time. I post it and then I close my fucking eyes and I don't look at what the numbers are, what's doing well, what's not doing well, how it compares to other things, what people are saying. Like, I don't want to know any of that because it eats away at you. And eventually I just think it is reckless and unhealthy for your creative self to take in all of that negative reinforcement. YouTube was just a much different place when I first started on the platform 14 fucking years ago, which is crazy. It wasn't so clickbaity back then. It wasn't so deeply about views and popularity. Yes, to some degree you wanted views. You want people to see the things that you create. To some level that's natural. But at that point, this was like 2010 when I was formally joining the platform. Creating a career off YouTube was only starting to exist at that point. At that point, we hadn't really seen any career YouTubers. I think AdSense had either just been announced or was about to be in 2011. I'm forgetting the exact timelines of this, but this is like the beginning of when the possibility of being a YouTuber was a real thing. So if you were chasing views, it wasn't because you were chasing money or an immense level of fame or notoriety. You were just doing it because it was cool and you wanted people to see your videos and to be like, whoa, that's crazy. It wasn't about this like larger, more sinister pursuit of views so much as it was just like an exploration of something that hadn't existed before that point and being able to be like, whoa, that's sick. I uploaded this video of me shooting my friend with a paintball gun and it got so many views. But then over time, we've seen everybody get more and more content brained, more and more clickbaity. The like thumbnails on YouTube all start to look exactly the same. Like it's like the Mr. Beast formula. The Mr. Beast thumbnails to me are like the most hideous thumbnails I've ever seen, ever. I think they are fucking ugly. I don't understand why they do well. Like, I get it. They're very clickable. They're just also creatively void of anything to me. I don't like it. Visually, I think it's a mess, but people click on it. It's like the Subway Surfer of it all, you know? And you can see in like the types of content that are overrunning YouTube more and more. I think it's, it starts where you have a few creators that are doing really well, and then you have a bunch of copycats. You have a bunch of people that want to just completely emulate what's working for them. You start to see that, and then over time, that's just gotten worse and worse and worse to the point where now, with the introduction of AI, you're having people basically just make whatever videos AI tells them to do. AI is going to analyze their channel, what videos have been good for them, analyze other similar channels, and then spit out a list of video ideas for them to make. Sometimes with detailed, filming instructions for how to separate the whole entire video. Now, whether or not people adhere to everything the AI tells them to do is sort of neither here nor there to me. I feel like the concepts and ideas that the AI is capable of coming up with are constantly soulless, no matter what. I am not even someone that's completely against AI in every context. For example, I have used AI to fix mistakes that I have made. For example, last year, I used an AI to fix audio on an episode of the podcast where 2 of the mics I recorded with weren't working. It was a 3-person podcast. 2 of the 3 mics didn't fucking work. And I was able to salvage the episode via the camera audio and an AI that helped sort of enhance everything and bring it all together. The other time I've used AI is to help with thumbnails. Sometimes I will have a photo that I want to use in a thumbnail, but I don't have a horizontal version of that photo. I only have a vertical one. So I have used AI to expand the background of an image to turn a vertical image horizontal, because that makes my life easier. That was my bad, my mistake for not taking a horizontal image for a thumbnail. My bad for, having tech fail on me. Wasn't my bad, but it happens. These were two examples where something unexpected happened. I made a mistake, I fucked up, something happened with the tech, and I used AI to sort of get me out of that situation. That to me is the only way that I would ever use AI. When I fuck up, when I fail, and I want like a get out of jail free card, AI can be helpful in those instances. Those are also instances of using AI not necessarily in a creative way, but in like a problem solving type of way. I think that the idea of someone deciding to be a creator tomorrow, taking all of their ideas off of ChatGPT, whatever ChatGPT tells them to do, they're going to make a video using those topics. They do everything for the algorithm. The AI is giving you ideas based on what will do well in the algorithm, what's going to be popular, based on what's already trending. You make videos based on that. You're constantly chasing views, notoriety, popularity. You're constantly trying to beat the algorithm, to be the best in terms of who people are watching, how long their eyes are on you. That to me is like the death of creative content on the internet. The creators that I love the most on YouTube are the people that make what they want to make. The people that are unbelievably authentic and true to themselves. People that make things that they are passionate about. People that get on their podcasts, get on their YouTube channels, turn the camera on and talk about whatever the fuck they want. It can be something that I'm interested in or not. I like passionate people. I like people that are inspired. I like people that are creative. I like people that put effort into the things that they create and that are unbelievably authentic to themselves in the process. I just feel like we're straying farther and farther away from this image of like YouTube, broadcast yourself, where we're just normal, regular people turning our cameras on and talking about whatever the fuck we want every single day, when you have people that are committed to, being on this platform with the main goal of harvesting views, of being popularity, of chasing popularity. When the meat and juice, the juice and potatoes, whatever the fuck that saying is, of being on this platform is like the authenticity of it all, the access to these people. That is what makes YouTube so different than mainstream media, is that it is so much more intimate. It is so much more vulnerable. It is so much more, there's a kind of closeness there where you're witnessing people have very real, unscripted conversations. You're witnessing people get to be super passionate about something that they love, one of their niche interests. They just get on camera and they ramble for an hour. You get to listen to them talk about it. You can look up anything on earth and you can find someone on YouTube that is passionate about that thing. That is the beauty of this platform. It's not about, picking a topic that's going to get the most views, that's going to get the most clicks, picking a topic that's the most searched on Google. It's about talking about things that make you feel passionate and lit up inside. It's about being truthful to who you are, being authentic. I like watching passionate, inspired, creative people with big opinions and big feelings. That's what I like listening to, what I like watching. AI can't replicate that. But does it matter that AI can't replicate that if people want more often the fucking brain dead, soulless subway surfer bullshit? I don't know. Even watching Colin and Samir's video where they're talking about AI and like the use of, I don't know, this fucking YouTube thing, or maybe they were talking about the Meta thing they went to. I don't know. Go ahead and watch their video. They were talking about different like introductions that they brought up during this summit, and there was an AI that they were using, that they introduced, where it was basically like creators are going to have access to like an AI of themselves. And the reason why they're pushing this is so that you have creators with like a niche. You have like, let's take a tech YouTuber, for example. They can create an AI of themselves where people can ask it specific questions like, oh, I'm looking for a phone to buy. I'm trying to buy a new phone, but I'm not sure which one I should buy. Can you help me? And then you will see like a YouTube video in response, taking all of the information this tech YouTuber has said in the past, and now you have a YouTube video of your answer that looks like it was made by the YouTuber, but it's not. It's an AI that's just taking the information from their previous videos, or I don't know, whatever other information they're going to feed the AI. I don't know if it's just of their YouTube videos or if it's also like Google results as well. I don't fucking know. But it's just this idea of being able to have a creator AI, a version of yourself that looks and behaves exactly like you, but isn't you. So that you can push out more content, reach more audience, get more views, make more money. That is fucking sick and twisted to me. Some of you guys are fucking demonic. Like, to me, the reason why I do this, the reason why I like doing this, why I have always loved doing this, is because I'm a creative person. Because I like creating. I don't do this because you watch it. I would do this even if you didn't watch it. I do this because I love the act of making it. I love sitting down and brainstorming what it is I want to talk about. I love sitting here and talking about whatever it is I'm passionate about, whatever it is that I have opinions on. I love sitting here and talking about relationships and dating and movies that I've seen and fashion things that I'm interested in. I love just getting to experience life and share it with people. I love filming. I love editing. I love getting to get creative in the process of building a story and sharing it with people. I love getting to share intimate parts of my life with other people, feeling like I have a skill in putting words to my emotions, and maybe I can share that and connect with someone else all the way across the fucking globe. That is special to me, right? I would do it if one person watched it. If that one person was fucking me and my best friend, you know? Like, this has never been about views to me. And that's not to say that I don't care at all about them, right? This is my career. I do this as a job. I have to care about it a little bit, but I make a living right now. I've made a living for the past 3 years, and it's not a bad living either. I still make significantly more than I did at my desk job. And I'm not getting millions of views on each of my videos. I'm just someone that shows up consistently. I put out a lot of content. I could long for more. I could long to have videos that hit 1 million every single fucking time. But what is actually the difference? I am making a living being creative, doing what I love. What's the difference between being creative in the way I am now and being creative to a larger audience? More money. More money is the only difference. Not that I'm poo-pooing the idea of making more money. I'm sure all of us would like to make more money. But that's not why I do this. And it perturbs me that there are more and more people getting into content creation whose only goal is money and popularity, oversaturating a market full of more nonsense. That's like in the Drew Gooden video where he's talking about how Spotify seems to be uploading a bunch of like random AI generated songs, adding it to like jazz playlists in the morning. All of these songs by random people you've never heard of that have like one song and they all sound eerily similar to each other. They're like clearly AI generated songs that are then put on a playlist and it gets so many listens. People just throw it on in the morning. They're getting ready. It's like classic jazz Spotify playlist, easy listening. All of a sudden Spotify is full of this like AI music that's completely soulless that gets pushed, and it does well because people just want some automated ready-made playlist to put on. And that same thing is happening on YouTube as well, where you just have a ton of people starting to make content for the algorithm. They're making content not because they're passionate about it, not because they have a skill for it or a talent for it, but because they're chasing popularity and they're manipulating the algorithm, learning from AI to just spit out what works, regardless of if it actually means anything to them or not. Also, I just find like the idea of the AI version of the creator, that is fucking crazy town to me. First of all, I can't fucking deal when people present those dumb AIs and they're like, you can't even tell the difference. I'm like, are you guys for serious? You've got to be like dumb as rocks to not be able to spot an AI, in my opinion. It's maybe I'm particularly irritated about it this week because I'm still mad about this. I've been trying to get a new round of merch off the ground for you guys. I have so many ideas. I am not a designer though. I need to pass off my ideas, my concepts to somebody that is capable in the graphic design world. Okay. I thought I had found people to do that with, to work with me on that. I thought we were making moves there. We talked on the phone like a month ago. I gave them a list of written direction and a board of visual inspiration as well to give them like a gist of what I wanted to go for. But ultimately, I want the designers, the creatives that I partner with on stuff like this to really just like have fun and put their own spin on it. Like, this is what I'm thinking. This is my concept. But like, ultimately, you're the artist and I'm trusting you to sort of take my concept and run with it and make it amazing. A month passes, and on Friday of last week, I get an email of like a pitch deck of the designs coming back. And I'm so excited. I've waited a month to see these pitches. And I open up the email, and it is full of AI generated designs. And I took one look at it, and I was like, this feels insulting to me. It feels insulting and disrespectful, and like, to me, I looked at it and was like, do you think I'm dumb? I feel like you're calling me dumb. Like, you sent me a deck full of AI art. This shit had nothing to do with my direction. It actually blatantly went against a lot of my direction. There was no visual similarities to the board of references that I sent over. It was a bunch of complete and utter fucking nonsense that had no relation to anything that I sent over. And it was hideous. It was fucking ugly. So that's two crimes in one. Number one, you think I'm too dumb to be able to spot AI art when it's put in front of my face. And number two, you think that I lack the style and fucking swag to point out when something is fucking hideous. You've got me fucked up, because I am neither of those things. Not only would I need to be fucking brain dead to not know that it was AI, but I would also need to be complete and utterly tasteless. Tasteless, mama. So I think I'm particularly frustrated about that this week, because here I was thinking that we were making progress. I had found people to partner with, and little did I know they were just going to send me some fucking AI generated bullshit. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. It's unbelievable to me how people will so easily throw away like their own artistic integrity in pursuit of ease and money. To me, there is nothing more important than my integrity as a creative person. I say no to so many things. I send rejections to so many people. I turn down so many opportunities out of respect for my creative self. And that's what most of us that give a shit about whatever we do for work do. But somehow, with the introduction of AI, it's like that need to be true to your artistic self has gone out the window with some people. And they're like, look at this new tech. It's so fucking cool. Here's this AI. And suddenly people don't give a shit. about their own artistic integrity anymore. They just care about using this thing to their advantage to get more views, more popularity, more money, to make things easier. You can make more money by doing less, so why do more? That is fucking dumb. That is a dumb perspective. Why spend time making beautiful handcrafted designs when you can throw it in AI, get something moderately okay, and still sell it for money? You are fucked up. You have me fucked up if you think that is better in any way or even the same. And you know what? I would rather make something shitty by hand, by myself. I would rather fail on my own than let AI create some dumb shit for me. I would rather create bad videos every day of my life on my own than ever accept help from a fucking AI creatively. Again, I'm not even someone that is anti-AI in every sense of the word. I think there are useful ways that you can use AI that don't infringe on your own creativity. I think there are helpful ways to use AI to make your job a little bit easier. You forget something, you fuck something up, AI can be used to help solve some of your problems. But to use AI as the brains behind your channel, the heart, the soul, the person behind your channel, to let AI become the center of your creative universe is actually fucking abysmal. And I think many of you need creative therapy. You need to go talk to creative God, okay? You need to have a come to Jesus moment, because what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on that some of you would even consider having a creator avatar, an AI version of yourself that your followers could talk to and ask questions to? What level of brain broken do you have to be to even consider that? That's crazy. Not to mention the kind of parasocial repercussions something like that has. If people believe that they are getting close to you, if people can convince themselves, even if they know it's an AI, that they are getting close to you, that they are having one-on-one conversations with you, I just can't understand how it's so widespread. Like, obviously, not everybody that creates on YouTube does it for the same reasons. I don't think anybody has ever thought that the Paul brothers make YouTube videos for love of the game and, love of creating. Nobody ever thought that that was the case for them. Those are two people that are extremely views motivated, popularity motivated, all conversation is good conversation. Those are the types of people that are literally on this platform, not because they are interesting or have great personalities or have anything worthwhile to add to conversation. They are simply there for shock value and to beat the algorithm and get fucking views, make money. But I think I thought that those people were few and far between. I thought that they were outliers and that the majority of people were people who created for love of the game, people that got lucky and got to, be creative for a living, and that actually gave a shit about the heart of what they're making, the why behind why they do what they do, why this is their job. And it's not true for every social media platform, right? Famously, I think that a lot of short form content is nonsense. Most short form content is nonsense. I'm sorry, I do. But I think on YouTube, I always hoped that if people were putting in this much effort, to film and edit an entire 30-minute video, you have people making the equivalent time-wise to fucking TV shows, putting out an entire new episode of something every single week. Podcast, YouTube video. It's a lot of fucking work. I know it because I fucking do it. I think in my head, I was always like, if you're putting in that much effort to something, you must love it. Because why would you do it if you didn't love it? If you fucking hated it, why would you spend this much time doing it? But not everyone that's on this platform has a creative brain. Not everyone that's on this platform is here because they're creative. They're not here because they love and have passion and inspiration for what they do. They're here for views. They're here for popularity. They're here for money. They're here to follow the trends of what the algorithm wants them to create, build upon build upon build, without ever considering what it is that they want to make. They are merely slaves to the algorithm and to whatever audience that algorithm builds for them. And I think because we're seeing more and more of that, the more creative people you have on the platform are starting to feel shittier and shittier about themselves, because the reality of being a creator is that every video will not be a banger. You're not going to have every video just continue to do better than the next. That's not how it works. And you will have periods where your channel is growing, and then you'll have periods of plateau where you just are sort of staying the same. You're cruising. Maybe it's less than you once had, but you're chilling. And then a video will do really well and you'll grow a little bit and then you'll plateau. Like, it's not like you're at this one constant incline when you're making content on this platform. But I think the people that are committed to prioritizing what the algorithm wants, what would do well over what they want, what is truthful to them, because there are more and more people creating with that kind of mindset, to be someone that is authentic and is creating with your heart and what is interesting to you, you are always going to feel like a failure in comparison to those people. But really, you are the fucking winner, baby. And that's what I need to tell people. Because I think that if you want to be a creator, if you are a creator, to prioritize views as a metric for success, in my opinion, is a complete and utter fucking mistake. You could have 10 viewers, but if those 10 viewers all love your videos so much and have felt so moved and like seen by the things that you create, that they go off and they have conversations, that their lives are improved in some way because of the things that you made, that is more than most people will get to say. The amount of people watching your videos is not what matters. It is the quality of connection between you and the people that do watch your videos that matters. Is the stuff that you create resonating with people? Does it mean something to them? Are they leaving your content feeling inspired, having things to say in response? Are they excited to see what you post next? Does what you create add comfort and entertainment to their lives in a way that they miss you when you're gone? When the episode is over, when the video is done, are they sitting there like, wow, that was so awesome. I can't wait for the next one. If you have 50 people that are sitting there thinking that, isn't that meaningful enough as it is? I think so. And ultimately, I think what is most important is remaining truthful to who you are as a creative person. And also, I think that is more rewarded in the long run. And you can have all these like pro AI people be like, oh, well, not anymore. It's all different now with the introduction of AI. You shut the fuck up. Shut up. I just honestly, I think you have to be brain broken to think that soulless AI content is ever going to be more meaningful than actual creative made by passionate, inspired people that have poured hours upon hours into making something unique and one of a kind for you to consume. You're never going to convince me it's the same thing. Because it's not. And if you yourself can't see the difference, if you yourself can't feel the difference between something that has been soullessly produced by AI and something that a real human being produced, then I don't know what to tell you, but I think it's a you problem. Because to me, there are just such clear differences and clear issues, and I cannot fathom why someone would choose to consume AI content over content produced by a real human person. I don't know. I think the only marker for success when you're making creative things is not how many people liked it, how many people watched it, how well it performed, any of that. I think those are all shitty markers of success. To me, the only metric for success when creating things is how aligned did you feel when you were producing it? How excited about it did you feel before you let a single other person see it? Because I find that with myself, sometimes I will work on a video for so long and I'll spend, so much time with it. And by the end, I'm like, okay, I feel really proud of this. Like, I spent days on this. I put a lot of thought and care into this one. It's, it's perfectly crafted from my heart to yours. And when I finish those videos and I feel so proud, sometimes I upload it and I'm like, dreading uploading it because I know I'll like it less when I upload it. And sometimes a video that I loved before posting it can become a video that I really don't like after sharing it, when nothing has changed about the video itself, but I now have access to a bunch of different opinions and a bunch of analytics that maybe don't reflect the same amount of enthusiasm that I had for what I created. And I have, over the years, watched this happen to me at multiple points. And sometimes I do dread uploading. Sometimes when I love something so much, I am so not excited to post it. When I am like so proud, when I am the most proud of a piece of content, that is when I want to post it the least. And it's not because I don't want to share in my excitement with people that are going to get it and resonate with it and connect with the piece of content. It's this fear of it failing in the eyes of the algorithm, and this fear that I'm going to take that personally, even though that goes against my values as a creative. But you literally can't open your YouTube studio without being bombarded with like green arrows up or red arrows down, and learning how well this video performed in comparison to all of your others. And it's like, I am not trying to optimize. I'm just trying to be creative, to enjoy my creative process, my creative life. And that's why I feel like I am becoming more and more resistant to existing inside the YouTube studio, where it's like green arrows up and red arrows down all over the place, just constantly comparing you to your previous self, and reminding you, what is good and what isn't in the eyes of the algorithm. Whether or not that is actually true is a completely different thing. Yeah, sometimes you put out a shitty fucking video and that's why it tanks. But that's not the only reason why a video tanks. Or not even tanks, why it doesn't perform to your expectation. There are so many great YouTube videos on this platform that have like a fraction of the views that some of the shittiest videos on this platform have. Like, views are not a good metric for tracking how successful or how fantastic a piece of content is. And anyways, I just have an issue with like the more robotic approach to creation, where like views and popularity is the most important metric, and manipulating the algorithm to figure out better ways to achieve higher views is like the most important, and the heart is just getting slowly stripped away with AI making it easier and easier for people to, I don't know, just get the views, get that popularity metric, and then be like, and I'm done for the day, and I succeeded. But did you? Because I think there are smaller creators on this platform that are light years more accomplished and more successful than some of the biggest creators on this platform. And listen, I liked the Tommy Innit video. I don't know a lot about him. Otherwise, I know he did like Minecraft videos, but I don't think I've watched a single other Tommy Innit piece of content out of this video. But I will say, I will call out here that in the Tommy Innit video, towards the end of the video, he starts listing off like some of the best creators on the platform. He says, these are the best creators on YouTube. And he starts listing them out as examples. And every single creator that he listed off was a man. Don't think I didn't notice that, because I liked the video. I was in it for the whole video. I was like, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm nodding my head along. I'm agreeing. And then we get to the end of the video where it's like, we're getting to the thesis statement of it all. There's so many amazing creators on this platform, the best creators on this platform. We list out like 15 names and not one of them is a woman. I was like, damn. Are we gonna have to do a deep dive into sexism within the content creation sphere? Because I think there's a lot to be said there as well. But I was like, God damn it. I was agreeing with everything you said, and then it was like, no women. Small thing. It was a great video, but it is hard not to notice that as a female content creator watching a video where someone's making a point that I really agree with, and then they list out all the best creators on the platform and they don't name a single woman when there are so many women So many super fucking creative, incredible women that have changed the game on this platform, that are making really profound, some of the most compelling and also technically impressive storytelling that the platform has ever seen. You know, I can make a list of like 200 women content creators that make better videos than Mr. Beast. 200 women on YouTube that I think are more successful than Mr. Beast at what they do. That's not to say that Mr. Beast isn't good at what he does. Clearly, he knows what he's doing. I'm not his demographic, but the point there is just to say that the most awarded people on this platform, the people with the highest amount of views, with the highest amount of attention, doesn't mean that they are the most successful, the most talented, the most skillful people on this platform. And I know for damn sure that if we're making any list on the best creatives on YouTube, the best content that you can find on YouTube, there are so many fucking women on that list. If we're making lists, which I'm really not in the business of making lists in that regard, because I think everybody's content is different. It's sort of hard to compare everyone to each other. And also comparison is a thief of joy and we don't need to do it. But if we were gonna, my list is full of women. I'll have you know. But I'm confused why some creators seem to be even moderately excited about the introduction of AI in creative spaces when it goes beyond a like utility thing, and when we're talking about AI avatars that can create videos to respond to specific questions your subscribers ask. Like, I can't understand why a creator would hear that pitch and have a positive reaction to that. It is confusing to me that there isn't a united front among content creators where we're like, this is bad. That's a terrible idea. It's confusing to me. It seems so obviously bad. But again, this is what I'm learning. Some people are not on this platform to be creatives. They're on this platform to make money. And I think the conversation of AI is really illuminating that difference to me. All right. I think that is it for the day. The sun is going down. It's time for me to continue doing my house chores while I listen to podcasts. Still not gonna watch that spooky, scary movie. I mean, maybe I'll watch one tonight. Probably not, though. I leave for a wedding tomorrow morning at like 6:30, and I still haven't packed or done fucking anything for that. So, you know, we've got things to do, people to see. But I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging, and I'll see you next week's episode.